So today we're going to be taking a look at another custom action figure, and this is one I've been wanting in my collection for a long time as well, and finally just got it in the mail a few days ago. And is Jedi Master Atris, probably one of the most iconic characters from the Knights of the Republic 2 video game. She's on the cover, she's on the CD discs if you have those, and you see her in a lot of the art of battling off with Darth Nihilus and Darth Cyan, for example. So if you don't know much about her character, she's one of the Jedi Masters you encounter in the second Knights of the Republic game. You encounter her on the polar region of Telos, and she kind of a complex character. So before the Mandalorian Wars and going into the Mandalorian Wars and before the Jedi Civil War, she was the librarian, which you could tell by her robes, very similar to Jocasta Nu during the prequel era, and definitely very critical of the Jedi exile Mitra Sirik throughout the game. And as you learn throughout the game as well, she slowly starts falling to the dark side. In case you didn't know, if you have played the game, there is cut content where Atris is actually Darth Traya, which I think is an interesting take on things. And there's a little bit of backstory to that, and if you look through some of the game files, you can actually find some evidence of that. So I think that's really interesting, but I'm happy with the way the final product turned out, and Darth Traya ended up being who Darth Traya was, and Atris ended up being who Atris was. So obviously there's no package to show you or anything like that. So the person that made this is the same one that made the Lana Vash and the Darth Traya action figures I have reviewed on the channel as well. I got this order placed same time as those, and this was the last one to get made of the bunch. So we'll look a little closer at it. I'm not going to articulate it too much because it is a fragile action figure and I don't want to risk rubbing off any of the paint. But I'm really happy with how this turned out. It looks really nice. So one of my favorite aspects about this custom is obviously the robes. The detail in this is phenomenal. I'm not sure how that was done, if it was made by the customizer himself, or if it was a pattern he found, or it was specially made, or what, but it's really nice. This looks even better than the Jocasta Nu robes that come with that action figure, which I'm still hunting that one down as well. I know for a long time that was an easy one to get a hold of on brianstoys.com. Unfortunately, now it's one of the most expensive TVC action figures. So the head sculpt looks really nice on this. For the most part, it looks like Atris. For an action figure attempt, this is really good. I like the hair sculpt. Everything about it is really nice. And as far as I know, I think this is basically just utilizing the Luminara Unduli body as well. I'm not sure where the head is from at all. Maybe it's from Luminara and it's just repainted. So in terms of the articulation, of course, it's super articulated, what you would expect. It does have a ball joint at the head, hinged shoulders and elbows and swivel wrists, swivel waist, and then swivel hips, and then hinged knees and hinged ankles as well. Like I said, I'm not going to articulate them too much because some of the paint can rub off, and I don't want to risk rubbing any off. And in terms of the accessories, she just came with a lightsaber, or that's what she was provided with. Nothing too fancy about that. I think blue is accurate for Atris. It's either blue or silver. But either way, it's a nice colored hilt and it fits with her very nicely. Really like how these lower robes are sculpted. They have a cut right here. Then these upper robes here, a little bit different material from the lower robes. I think it's actually the same as this here. It's a very stiff material. But other than that, that's pretty much all there is to say about her. I will do a couple comparisons real quick with some of the other customs I've had. There's Darth Treya. And of course, the main character herself, Mitra Sirik. And they all look really good together. This Knights of the Republic 2 collection I have coming along is doing really good. Like I've said before, my goal is to be able to get a custom of each of the party members from the game and most of the main characters that you encounter throughout the game. At this point I have Lana Vash and of course now Atris for the Jedi Masters, and at some point it would be nice to do Kavar or Zez Kael or Vrook even, maybe someday. It's very expensive though, very time consuming, and it takes forever to get there. But I think there's a good chance I could someday. But anyways, would I recommend a custom Atris for your collection? I definitely would. She's one of my favorite characters from the video game, and she has a very interesting story. And not the cheapest action figure. She's definitely not extremely expensive compared to some customs, but definitely if you have the funds to be able to do it and you're somewhat interested in the character, I think she's a good one to add to your collection for customs. But anyways, that concludes this review. I hope you enjoyed it and learned a little more about Atris if you did not already. And stay tuned for more reviews in the future. There will be plenty more to come. And if you have not already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. And check the Instagram in my description as well. And thanks for watching.